Bandit and I are on a walk, and I just want to take this opportunity to say how much I appreciate our forest firemen and women and our National Forest Service LEOs, law enforcement officers, rangers, and that includes BLM, Bureau of Land Management. That includes all public land personnel. Thank you all for all that you do. I'll tie that into today's video coming up next. This is a popular trail, and there's lots of hikers and even joggers, horseback riders. This trail is heavily used, and there was a couple behind me that was talking and pretty loud and had bells all over their backpacks. So I let them pass by and am just sitting on a log, taking a break for a minute. So what do Leos and fire service personnel have to do with me making fun of being a mushroom harvester in the forest? Well, I tell you, one day I was sitting in camp and I was writing, and I looked out my window, and a Leo, a law enforcement officer, pulled into camp. And he got out and left his door open, and he unbridled his holster. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I wasn't even dressed properly, but look at the size of this stump, you guys. Look at Bandit next to that. I have my blue tarp out. Usually my table sits on it. I gotta show y'all this. Look at that. I just love these trails. Anyway, I have my blue tarp out, and I usually have my table sitting on it when I go to town. That and a couple other things, and I'll have that in a video coming up, is how I reserved my site. But the table I had been cooking on, so it was just my blue tarp out, and I have my hood of my RV open because I'd heard that that helps with mice, and I've since heard people say that they do that, and lights and peppermint and Irish Spring soap and all the things that we've heard about and they still get mice anyway. But I had my hood open and that tarp out. And Officer Adam Cole stopped by. I'm out of breath. I'm sorry, you guys. I tell you what, let me take a break. I'll sit down and get my wind. Hold on. Okay, we'll try this. Till another hiker or jogger or bugs start bothering me so much I have to leave. But anyway, Officer Cole, he said, and he was such a nice guy, and he said, but I could tell he was meaning business. And he said, are you broke down? And I said, no, sir, I'm not broke down. And he pointed to my hood. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying that as a theory of how to control mice or prevent mice. And he laughed. And he goes, how's that working for you? I said, well, I haven't gotten any yet. And he goes, yeah, good luck with that. And we laughed. And so my heart eased up a little bit because I could tell he was serious. And he goes, what's with the tarp? And I began to realize that Phoenix, I know, looks pretty rough on the outside. She needs a paint job. And I had a tarp out, and I had my hood open. And I began to realize what it must look like to him. And so I showed him that I usually have my table on it, and that's how I reserve a spot when I go to town, in addition to some other stuff that I'll share with you guys in another video. He's like, okay. And he's like, but you're okay? And I said, yes, sir. And he's like, anybody with you? No, sir, it's just me and my dog. And I offered, and I know people will tell you not to, but I have nothing to hide. And I said, would you like to see inside? And he said, yes, I would. And so I was thinking, what is going on? And so he didn't go inside. He just kind of leaned in and looked both ways. And he leaned in, he looked again both ways. And he comes back and he goes, dang, that's as nice as some more Airstreams I see. And I'm like, I know, you wouldn't know it from the outside, would you? And he goes, no, you would not. I was like, oops, I probably ought to get a paint job on Phoenix when I can. So it'll be last on my totem pole, though. Right now, she needs some new tires because you can't get the tire size that she has anymore. And I have an appointment at the end of this month for a muffler and some carburetor work. Bandit's down there ready to walk some more. Anyway, I told him, I said, yeah, that's why I haven't minded too much what the outside looks like. But I wasn't going for hanging out in the forest looking like a broken down mushroom harvester. And he started laughing so hard, and we got a good laugh out of that. And he had told me that those blue tarps is what people that are harvesting psychedelic mushrooms dry their mushrooms on. And I was just like, oh my God, yeah, no, that's not the look I'm going for. And so before he left, and thank you, Officer Cole, for doing your job. And he might have just been using the wellness check as an excuse to check on this ratty looking camp. And I tell people all the time, don't make your camp look ratty. You need to take care of business, and you need to keep it clean. And I had my hood up and a tarp out and caused the Leos to stop. So don't do that. Don't do like I did. And anyway, he gave me a Smokey the Bear cup, which I love. It's a tin cup, and I've been to the Smokey the Bear Museum in Lincoln, New Mexico, and I grew up with Smokey the Bear, and I just love it. And I love all of our Leos and all of our public land stewards. One day while out walking, Bandit and I came upon a fire crew that had been working in the forest between setting up logs for controlled burn and keeping the paths clear and beetle kill. And this heat and global warming, our Forest Service firemen and women have their work cut out for them. And really appreciate you guys. And as we walked by them, I said, thank you guys for all you do. And they were like, thank you. And no matter what you do out there, everybody, don't look like you're a broken down old lady hanging out in the forest harvesting mushrooms. Okay, Bandito, where are you? Hey, Bandito. He is ready to go hiking, everybody. We'll see you down the road. Keep on keeping on. Bye.